My name is Tracey Laird, and I am a professor of music here. I'm technically an ethnomusicologist, and I've been at Agnes Scott since the fall of 2000, so 21 years and running. And I teach courses in a broad spectrum of topics, everything from issues and methods of ethnomusicology and a music appreciation or introductory course from a global perspective, to more standard like Western music history courses, to jazz courses that talk about race and gender and popular music, and so on and so forth. I've also led Journeys courses in our first year summit program to two destinations. One, the Navajo Nation. I've taken students there twice. And then this coming spring, we'll go to the Sea Islands for the second Journeys to that destination. My favorite class is the first year class. It's not only first years in it, it's open to anybody, but it's in musical elements in global perspective. And so for majors and minors in music, it's kind of the entry-level course, but I love it because of the global perspective. So we take different musical elements, for example, pitch or time or structure, and try to comparatively understand how different major musical traditions in the globe, Western, Arabic, Indian musical traditions, and some others that are more localized, like we look at Indonesian music, for example. But all of that is asking the questions that an ethnomusicologist asks, having to do with meaning and music in human life. So that's a really fun course. I really enjoy going all those places through music with these students. One of the unique aspects of studying music at Agnes Scott is that it's small and a student has close interaction with professors, close interaction with other students. It's a very supportive environment. This is not your, kind of cutthroat music scene. Everybody's very supportive of each other. But it's flexible so that a student with a particular interest, whether that be something like archival research or wanting to be a performer, and maybe the next step after this is graduate school, students can shape their experience and pursue that. We've also had students who want to get a music major, but they also have a love of, I'm thinking of a student who got a dual degree in music and engineering and now works as a mechanical engineer. She finished her dual degree at Georgia Tech, but maintains an active music making life. So we have people who've done that. We have people who have gone on to become musicians and to work professionally in music. It's really open-ended, and I think that differs from larger programs where when I was studying music, if you were a music major, you really didn't have time to do anything else because you were expected to devote all of your waking hours to practice. We love for students to practice, but we have a lot of students who are, maybe you'd call them Renaissance women, who they love music, they also love their psychology double major, or their neuroscience, or their French, or their theater. And so we're able to give them space to kind of carve it out as they envision it. A vision that's often unfolding over the time that they're here. So being in Atlanta, I think, is really helpful in everything from trying to find an internship that will help a student explore whether a path that has interested them is something they want to keep going toward. Sometimes an internship is very useful in that it helps you realize that's not what you want to do. It's a wonderful place to go and hear music. I think, post-pandemic, we've had a lot of opportunities, for example, for students to get really cheap, sometimes even free tickets to major musical institutions like the local symphony or just various activities that go on. So Atlanta is also a really good place for seeing live music from all over the spectrum of music making. And in addition, the Arch program is wonderful in that if there's a class a student wants to take that we don't offer, the student can sign up for that class at Georgia State, which is on the MARA line, Emory, there's a bus system. We've had students who wanted to take a class over there. And so that's kind of a extra bonus to being at Agnes Scott, is this ability to take advantage of other things. One student loved marching band, and we don't have a marching band, and so she joined the Georgia Tech marching band while she was here and did that the whole time she was a student at Agnes Scott. She was very disciplined and very organized, but she did it. I try to make the classroom as an interactive place, and over the 21 years that I've been here, I think my teaching has really evolved. And I think the idea of what an education is has also, in the bigger picture, really evolved. And really moving from this idea that, somebody who knows a lot is going to stand up and tell you stuff, and then you memorize it and tell them back so that they can demonstrate that they heard the stuff you told them. I think it's really much more about thinking and learning to think critically and apply concepts. So I try to build that into classroom experiences, and sometimes it's focused on something as musicians what we really emphasize, which is close listening and critical listening and descriptive analysis. It's amazing to me, because I teach both majors and non-majors. Sometimes non-majors hear things in music that other people don't hear. But other times the interactive experience might be, teamwork. So the team has a task, and it might be just something in the space of the room. So if we're learning about, in that introductory class, instruments and different ways that instruments get categorized based on how they produce sound, then to think about the different qualities of different instruments, you might have a task to do, like sustain this note. Well, that's very different on, a xylophone than it is on a clarinet or a zorna, whatever it is from whatever instrument you're thinking about. So I really enjoy moments when students are working together to try to either work out ideas or apply things that we've read about or talked about together. If you come to Agnes Scott, you expect to get to know your professors and your fellow students. There's room for you to grow in the kind of tasks that we've envisioned and challenges that we've envisioned. There's also room for you to bring things to the table that we can help nurture and grow. I'm thinking of the years that a group of students decided that they wanted to make some extra money. They were part of the string quartet, and they put together a wedding portfolio where they could hire themselves out to play people's wedding receptions, for example. Or even Lux Singers, which is the current on-campus student-run a cappella group. That just started because students were like, we love to sing, we love chorale, we love sotto voce, there's this other repertoire that we'd like to explore. So there's a lot of student mojo on campus, and we love that, and we love the way that energy changes with the entry of each new student into our community. And I love personally watching how students evolve. Seeing that person who comes in as a good singer, and by the time they're done with 4 years, for example, between their lessons, their large ensembles, their chamber music experience, they become an excellent singer, and that growth is really inspiring to watch.